because it's my head, I'm talking, and this is going to be like a 10-minute video, which is crazy, okay? That is a counter position, because on TikTok, nobody's ranting for 10 minutes. This is basically a YouTube video, okay? Another example is green screens. If nobody in your niche is doing green screen, you should do green screens. If nobody in your niche is doing vlogs, you should do vlogs. If no one in your niche is doing day one of building this, you should do that. If no one in your niche is using a whiteboard tactic, you should use that. If no one in your niche is using object lessons, this is a great one. Okay, there's this guy in the fitness niche named Jeff Magnus. Okay, and in the fitness niche, you have so many people just lifting weights, whatever. They're just talking in a gym. And what he did is he started buying like basically visuals. Okay, so he has this video that went mega viral every time, and it's a cake. And he cuts the cake into 4 sections, but the cake is different size, and he basically says like, this little percentage is how much fat you lose in the gym, this percentage is how much fat you lose being awake, this is how much fat you lose whenever you're sleeping. But that visual is so unique to the fitness niche. Nobody is sitting at a table and talking through an object lesson in the fitness niche, and he's absolutely crushing it, okay? I know his content director, and they are wizards at this. Okay, the third way you can differentiate yourself is your delivery. How do you deliver? Okay, Davi Gazelle is the king of this. He's just authentic, hilarious, humorous, energetic. That's one way. You can also go the opposite direction. Greg Eisenberg. Greg Eisenberg is a very monotonous, kind of analytical, nerdy approch. Okay, for me, I try to do more stories, more quotes, a little bit more, I don't know, I just spitball. It just kind of happens, all right? Because there's so many people who are scripting. I am counter positioning as going the opposite way. No scripting. You're going to get me rambling, pausing, doing weird things, talking about paraplegics in third world countries. It just kind of is what it is. That's what you're going to get with me. But you can counter position with your delivery and the way that you talk about content. Maybe you're a historical storyteller. Okay, that's a great example of how to counter position. Maybe you always bring in statistics and talk about research studies. Maybe you break down books. Okay, Founders Podcast is an example of this. He reads a book and then he makes a podcast about the book. So instead of having 2 people at a table with microphones talking about their week in the podcast world, he reads a biography, breaks down the biography into a 1-hour podcast and delivers it to you. That's a counter position in the delivery style. Okay, number 4, we can differentiate ourselves with our positioning. Okay, positioning is somewhat synonymous with niche, but what I mean by this is you can go upstream, downstream, cross stream. Okay, upstream. Let's say I am in the pool installation content niche. I can go upstream, and I can be now pool installations for luxury homes. I can go downstream, cheap, affordable pool installations. I can also go cross stream, where we could pick a more, it's the same affordability, but it's a different category, right? So now it's pool installations in the Pacific Northwest, pool installations in hyper humid climates, stuff like that. So you can go up and down with your positioning, and you can go left and right with your positioning to find a more differentiated approach. And then the 5th thing is the way you can differentiate yourself is with credibility, okay? You have to always be asking yourself, why should someone listen to me? Why should someone listen to me? 2 things that are getting overplayed right now. Because I make a lot of money, you should listen to me. And the second one in like the medical or the fitness field is I have a certain title and you should listen to me. I'm a PhD, MD, whatever it is. Those 2 things are getting overplayed over and over and over again. Instead, people are becoming way, way, way more willing to listen to someone with a unique experience, a unique story, a unique take, a unique angle, a unique skill set, right? So ask yourself, how can I stand out? One example of this is I don't even remember this guy's name, okay? He has a big following. He probably makes a piss ton of money, but he positioned himself as the chief technology officer of a big company. It's like a keyboard company. And so because he was a CTO of a big company, people listen, not because he makes $100,000 a month doing coaching or whatever it is. Okay. I've counterpositioned like this as well. You shouldn't listen to me because I make a bunch of money, or not. I don't even make that much money, but because of the money thing, but because of some of the people I've worked with and because of how I think about content on a more analytical level. Okay. So those are the 5 things. Number 1, brand pillars. Number 2, the format. Number 3, your positioning in your niche. Number 4 is your delivery. I'm getting things mixed around a little bit. And number 5 is your credibility. You need to think about differentiating yourself in all of those, counter-positioning in all of those, and you will win, and win big in the content world. A lot of people would think that storytelling, hooks, editing, charisma, personality, whatever, are some of the more important traits in a creator. Maybe, depending on who you ask. I personally have seen 3 absolute wildcard traits be way more often the winner, and they have nothing to do with personality. Nothing. Number 1 is data analytics. I know. Am I making a science out of content? Yes, a little bit. Data analytics. If I truly believe that if you gave me 10 videos and you didn't let me see them, and you just showed me their views, their retention, their comments, and maybe even just like the theme, or maybe like 3 stages of the video, I could take those 10 videos, could look at the data, and I could create a video that would get more views than the other 10. Because this is what content is. You post, you figure out what is winning, you take the winners, you test some more, you figure out what is winning, you test it some more, you figure out what's winning, and you continue to climb the ladder of data. One of my mentors said, content is not a game of taste, it is a game of knowing. Figure out, just find ways to know. Number 2, the second skill is, I would say, is copywriting. Copywriting. Are you able to make your content feel attractive, that people's life is going to change? It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sell something to them. And to be clear, copywriting is whenever you talk in sales language, or you write in sales language without it feeling salesy. So for example, I helped someone lose 23 pounds in 60 days, all with this one tip. That right there has like a ton of copywriting psychology in it. That's a very extreme example. But can you subtly make your hooks more tangible? Different example would be like, one bad hook would be how to get better mental performance on the mound if you're like a pitching creator. A better example from that is how to not get rattled when you throw 3 balls in a row and come back and deliver 83% more strikes. It's very tangible. The third tactic that or trait of a great creator is their understanding of literary